Hello, my name is Adrian. This screencast is about Beats, which is a music organizer for obsessive-compulsive geeks who care about music. Beats can do a lot of stuff, but one thing it can do is automatically correct the tags on your music. Say I've got some music I want to add to my collection. For example, I've got the new Skrillex EP, which I just downloaded from Amazon, and I've got these two other albums by MAA and Sufjan Stevens. And it's good music, but the files themselves are not that great. The file names are somewhat inconsistent, the spacing is wrong, some of the capitalization is a little bit weird, the titles have some extra cruft at the end. In this one from Amazon, it's got this explicit thing at the end of the song's title that I'd like to get rid of. So I could try to fix this all manually, put the stuff into iTunes, correct things one by one, use some other tool to manually correct all of these, or I could just ask Beats to do it. To do that, I use the beat import command on the terminal. I just give it the folder containing all the music I want to import into my library and correct the tags on. As you can see, Beats has started correcting the tags on here. It's removed the extra cruft from the end of the titles of these files. If we look at the second album, it's corrected the name of the MIA album, which has a bunch of slashes and backslashes and stuff in the title, and it's asking me what I want to do. I can apply those changes, and the Sufjan Stevens album is in a little bit better shape, so it just applies the changes without even asking me because they're so minor. Now let's look at what Beats did with the files. It's reorganized them into a custom directory structure that I like, organized by artist and then by album, then has the track number. Using Beats' configuration file, I've customized the directory structure and the file names that I use. You can set this to anything you like to match your preferences. In addition to reorganizing the files and correcting the tags, Beats has also gone ahead and downloaded album art for all of these and put the image files right alongside the audio files. In addition to correcting tags, Beats can help you manage your library of music. For starters, Beats has a rich query syntax you can use to look at your music and understand what you have. Say I want to see all of my songs by Sufjan Stevens, I can just query it for the word Sufjan. Or maybe I want to see all the albums that were released in 2010 that I have in my collection. I can just say year 2010. Or maybe I want to get the paths to files that contain the word devil. This gives me a list of file names that I could pipe into a different Unix utility, for example. Beats also has a move command, which takes files from my library, preserves their directory structure, and puts them somewhere else in the file system. For example, this command will move to the desktop all of the albums that were released in 2011 that are in my library. Beats also has a modify command that lets you change the tags on files. For example, maybe I have a horrible idea to make Sufjan Stevens' name spelled more phonetically. I could just change the artist field on those files to SOOFY. Beats will show me the changes, highlighting them in the terminal and ask me to confirm them, and then it'll change the tags and also update its internal database. Beats is primarily a command line program, but sometimes I want to look at things graphically, and for that reason it has a built-in web interface you can use. Just run the web server and access it through your browser, and you can use the same query syntax we're using from the command line to look at our music in a graphical interface. And using this, you can actually even play your music through your web browser using HTML5 audio. Beats can do a lot more than what I showed you in this video. It has plugins that can fetch lyrics for you. It can tag files with genres using Last.fm tags. It can adjust replay gain levels. It can integrate with the MPD player. It has a pure Python MPD clone if you prefer that. There's an MP3 info replacement for command line inspection of metadata. And it can also embed and extract album art from the tags in your files. All of this functionality is provided by plugins, so if you know a little bit of Python, you can contribute to Beats by adding a simple plugin. The documentation has getting started guides that help you be introduced to Beats. It has references for the command line interface and for the configuration file. To get started with Beats, go to beats.radbox.org. For news about Beats, follow the Beats account on Twitter, B33TS. If you'd like to contribute to Beats, you can fork the project on GitHub, or you can drop by the IRC channel, which is Beats on Freenode.